Right then, so yesterday I was just thinking, I was looking through our YouTube channel and thinking there's a lot of racing and otherland stuff and not a lot of technical stuff. We've thrown a bit of the V12 in there, but I realised a lot of people come here for the technical stuff that we did a lot of previously, but we've been that busy, I'll be honest, that doing these sort of videos usually makes things take a lot longer. When there's somebody sat in reception, we can't really say, oh, we're filming it and going to take forever. But this car's here waiting on bits, so it's fine. So we already know what's wrong with it. We could have lied and pretended that I'm like some sort of crazy oracle and I'd figured it out, but that's for other YouTubers. So this guy has brought his Q7 3 litre into us. Not sure exactly what he's changed, but he's run through it with Tony, who's 70-year-old, so his brain's a bit hard and doesn't absorb everything it should. Basically, he's changed turbos, had injectors tested, changed high pressure fuel pump. He's had the remap, not done by, I think, an ABT one, which are rubbish. He's had that took off because he thought it was something to do with that. Changed every sensor that he could think of. I think he's had a lot of money spent on this car, fixing what he thinks is an engine problem, which I can see why it stumped him, because we had exactly the same problem a couple of years ago. So we'll put a link to that video at the end of this one, because I don't want to give the game away too much, because I want everybody here to guess what they think is wrong with this car. And now this isn't the first one that we've had in with this problem. We've literally just finished tuning one. It was a remote job that ended up getting brought to us because the guys had thrown it together, and they had thrown it together, to be honest, and they didn't know what was wrong with it. And then obviously diagnosing this problem via email is quite difficult. So let me just give it a bit of boot and see what it does. I've not drove it first time. Yeah, that's it. There. We've got no power. Hopefully it comes back at some point. Oh, Honda Jazz catching me up. So, you don't want to come back. I feel like I might have to turn the ignition off and back on. But that, foot flat down, I'm just getting like massive judders through drivetrain. It's changing up a gear. It's doing all sorts of weird stuff. And I'm going to end up being under the overtaking here. It's not ideal where it did that. Like now I've slowed down, back to normal-ish. Like cruising at 15-20% throttle, you won't think they're all wrong with this. I'll lock it into a gear, because I feel like it probably ain't doing it as soon as you go full throttle. It's just as soon as it kicks down and gives it a bit. Starts up fine, idles fine, cruises around fine. At least that's what it feels like to me on that 20-second road test I've just done. What do you think it is? Tell us what you think it is. Don't watch rest of video or look in description and stuff like that, because that's boring. Tell us what you think it is. And I hope this is a problem that nobody else has, because as with this guy, it's quite expensive to fix. 1500 RPM, matic, driving fine, it's driving fine. It's alright there. It's like all the drivetrain's shaking. You'd think that prop shaft were hanging off, rear diff weren't right, gearbox weren't right. It just feels so wrong what's going on here. Like, it doesn't even feel like an engine problem. It's not revving, so you know there's something wrong with engine. But if people said they changed gearbox and prop shafts after feeling this, obviously it doesn't explain why it ain't revving, but everything's shaking. That's horrendous, and I don't think it'll go away completely. Hopefully what is happening is easy to tell on the video, because I'm not sure. It's not. The previous cars that we've had do this do some really weird stuff as well, like the car slowed down quite aggressively, which this were doing, but I think the automatic torque converter's sort of a bit soggy in between, so it's not quite as aggressive on the cut. The vibration is, but anyway, I'll stop talking rubbish. let's get it into the workshop and we'll point at exactly what's wrong with it. We'll change that only that one part, and then we'll go back out and see what happens. Now, does anybody else do that in their Audis? Because I do it every Audi I get in. I always put the back windows down first. The rear window button's always easier to get to than the front one. Put that in comments as well, because I don't do that in Volkswagens, just Audis. Alright, Mark. You're on a video now, mate. Police know where you are now. That's doing some weird stuff. Oh, engine cover's been off a few times. Just flies off. So, this Chinesium leak-off pipe is our problem. So that little thing there, I don't know, is it too dark? I'm going to get my phone out with my torch. This is like a full-blown production, this now. This is not some sort of crummy vlog that you're used to on this channel. That there, that I'm pointing to, that's the leak-off pipe. So these are really brittle. That's what happens. People are messing about. They break them, change them for new ones, and then this is when all the problems start. So it goes all the way to the other side. There you go. So a bit of oil here, a bit of diesel leaking out somewhere, but that's not our concern today. Our concern is to just change this and then see what happens, eh? So what'll be 2 seconds in YouTube world, it'll be a few hours in the real world. So the Q7 is back. The customer couldn't wait until we got the new leak-off pipes in, because it was going to be the day after. So we got him in, and then we've waited for him to come back, and he's here. Then what we've done, this is the old one, we've just butchered it just so we can do this little experiment to show you what's happening. So this is the offending article, which we knew we are even testing it that it's offending, but we'll show you. So this should hold back at least 10 bar of pressure, which is more than our compressor can do at the blower end. It probably do like 9. So in theory, we should be able to hook this on and just not make it crack off. But we've got this gauge on here. Used to be an EMP gauge. It only goes up to 4 bar anyway, but let's see what happens. So I'm going to blow air in here, and in theory, it should not come out anyway. There we go, that's going at like half a bar at most. There's no coming out, and there. Can't even get it past 3 bar. So that is the problem. What happens is when there's not at least 10 bar of back, or roughly 10 bar of back pressure, the piezo stack can only be energised to open the injector. It needs that return flow to shut the needle back. So, but basically, imagine the piezo stack, when it gets electrical energy, opens something, but it can't close it. It needs return pressure to do it. So that's why piezos work faster, because they're only doing one side, but they obviously need everything mechanically to work. It is crazy how many weird symptoms this gives you, and you get no misfire codes. The last van that we had all the problems with, the van from L, no misfire codes ever, no injector related stuff. The ECU's happy with everything it's seen, so it is crazy really. I don't think it happens enough that they need to put like a pressure sensor on there. But anyway, I know this will be fixed now. We'll go out for a drive, and that'll be the end of the video. So, all we've changed is the previously mentioned leak-off pipe. This car drives absolutely fine at the minute. I'm not going to go all the way up that big bypass because it's busy at the minute. But you'll get the idea. Still wants a thermostat. Not in the scope of works this time. So I'm not hammering it when it's cold, it'll just never get warm. There you go, foot down. There you go, foot down. no messing. That's exactly what it needed. So if you have some weird stuff going on with your car and somebody's changed leak-off pipes, or you've just bought a car and it's doing some weird stuff, try them first. They're not cheap for what they are. Don't fit non-genuine crap. The fittings are not bad non-genuine, we've got loads of them in, so if you need to repair it, it's the actual one-way valve that's the problem. So, ready to get back to the customer, which is all good.